Welcome back to Learning the No BS Mentality. Today we're going to talk about discipline. Most young men are weak because they were taught to worship comfort. They wait to get shit done until they feel motivated to do so. They chase women before they have built value, and they party like celebrities even though they are living like failures. And then they wonder why they're broke, why they're lost, why they're overweight, why they're replaceable. Discipline is simple. Can you get shit done regardless of how you feel? Because in the end of the day, that is what separates powerful men from average men. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about why your feelings do not matter, how society rewards comfort, and how discipline is an identity, not an action. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, starting with section 1, your feelings mean nothing, even though society likes to tell men that they do. And what I mean when I say your feelings mean nothing, all right, that doesn't mean that you just bottle up all your anger and frustration until you explode. What I mean is that your mood should not dictate your actions. Weak men negotiate with their feelings. Disciplined men do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel. All right, what are some of the things successful people do, right? They wake up early, right? They go to the gym. They work a lot, right? They are constantly learning, studying, training, right? And they keep their promises, the ones that they make to themselves and the ones that they make to others. The commonality between all of these things is successful people don't feel like doing these things. They do them because they need to be done, and they do them regardless of how they feel. All right, moving on to section 2, society rewards comfort. Society pressures young men into self-destruction disguised as fun. You need to look at it as if you have two paths that you can go down. You either choose society's path or you choose the discipline path. Society's path looks fun, right? You're going to be spending your 20s partying, drinking, chasing women, seeking instant gratification, and seeking validation. But ultimately, what it's going to lead to is weakness and regret later on in life. Or you can choose the discipline path, where you spend your 20s building your body, your mind, generating income, creating a network, and learning high income skills. This path looks painful, and it is painful. It's boring and it's lonely, but ultimately, what it's going to lead to is you being very powerful later on in life, okay? Some sacrifice now to be powerful later. Others seek pleasure now just to spend the rest of their life trying to catch up. All right, moving on to section 3. Discipline is an identity, not an action. It is not something that you just do sometimes, all right? It needs to be part of who you are. It needs to be your self-image. Your standards need to become automatic. And every promise that you break to yourself weakens your identity, all right? This is the discipline pyramid. At the very bottom of the pyramid, we have the men who let their feelings dictate their actions, okay? These are the ones that seek comfort in the moment, all right? They're the ones that sleep in, skip their workout, and party a lot. And ultimately, this leads to a life of weakness and regret and probably being broke and probably having an ugly wife, okay? In the middle, we have the men where discipline is in action, okay? This is not a bad place to be, and it's probably where most of us are, all right? You are way ahead of the people who let their feelings dictate their actions, all right? But ultimately, right, discipline is in action, which means that it's only going to happen some of the time. Maybe it happens most of the time, but the point is it's not there all the time, all right? At the very top, we have the men where discipline is their identity. Okay, they feel it through their core, all right? It is who they are, and you see it in their daily actions every single day, 24/7, 365. Okay, this is a hard place to get to, but it is where we should all strive to be. If you do choose this path, you need to understand that there will be nights that nobody claps for you. No girlfriend, no attention, no instant reward, no proof that it's working. Just you alone repeating the same difficult tasks over and over again. All right. This is where men are built, because discipline is not tested when life is easy. It's tested when you are tired because you work till 2 a.m. every night, but still choose to wake up early. When you are doubting yourself because you haven't seen any results. When you are frustrated because everything you try fails. When you are lonely because nobody believes in you and you are tempted to quit. Most men break here, but you cannot. Discipline does not allow you to break. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next lesson.